Hey, my name's Chris and I'm the head painter at CA Guitars, and I'll just walk you through the paint department real quick and show you what we do here. After the guitars are assembled, they look like this. So what I have to do is take this and sand out and make a smooth, consistent texture so we'll have a mechanical grit for our primer coat to stick to. And once we prime it, it'll come over here to Mary, and Mary will sand it down, and she'll also continue to work the finish out to where it's ready for paint. What we're looking for is just a smooth, consistent texture, good adhesion for paint, and after we get it painted, primed, it gets sent over to the prep station where guys will wipe it down and clean it. All right, after everything is primed and prepped, it's sent over to the inspection station where Jason here wipes them down, cleans all the any harmful things that'll affect the paint finish. We take it off, and at the same time it gives us a chance to inspect the work and make sure we didn't leave out any minute details. At this point, after it's cleaned, it's inspected, it's going to be taped up and ready to send over the paint. At that point, you'll have a near perfect surface so that we'll have good flow out, the paint will lay out real good, and everything will look as it should. Okay, what we have here is a custom airbrush job where we actually airbrush the wood grain look onto the carbon fiber, where we meticulously choose certain spots to show the carbon where it may look like a void or what have you in the wood. And what we have is one of our lead painters here, Jarek, and he's applying the base coat to this guitar. And we'll take in our customs and do them separately, and each one of them is hand done, and no two are the same. And we do a range of custom colors. This wood grain model happens to be a really popular model for those guys who like the traditional wood look but want the advanced carbon sound. Rick is wearing a suit to provide a dust-free environment, and we have a force-fed breathing air where we have filtered oxygen that's pumped in for the painter's safety. And we use a compressed nitrogen spray system, which cuts down on the friction and cuts down on the contamination and everything when you're spraying. That makes for a lot better finish, a cleaner finish, a better layout in paint, and it helps the guys out in buff because there's a lot less to take out. There's a lot less work ends up getting done in buff because of this. What we have is also a downdraft paint booth, which brings the contaminants straight down. If there's any trash or any contaminants that do happen to get into the paint booth, it gets sucked down into the filters, and we have a temperature control booth so that we can keep a constant temperature, and it makes for better and more consistent paint jobs.
Well guys, this is the nitrogen generator that we were talking about. It's a machine that helps us achieve a better paint job, and it helps us also save a lot of paint and save the environment. This machine was made in Italy. We are one of only a handful of companies in the US that uses it, and it's a very cutting-edge, innovative system. The machine creates pure nitrogen out of the environment air, and then we use that nitrogen to spray the guitars. It eliminates static electricity buildup in our spray painting, so more of the paint actually goes onto the guitar rather than just going into overspray. It also helps us make the paint job look neater and cleaner with less imperfections, and gives it a deeper gloss. So we're very thrilled to have it. It saves on paint, it saves in solvents. We have to use less solvent with this machine, so it's good for the environment. We're one of a few companies in Louisiana that are actually in line with the emission standards of California for 08, so we're very proud of that. It's very important to us. And it's good for us too because it saves us some work on the buffing station. And speaking of buffing, let's go over there and visit the guys in buffing and see what happens to make this mirror shine and gloss happen on our guitars.
This is one of the most important parts of the process right here. After we get done with the paint process, we bring it over here and go through a process of sanding with a fine grit sandpaper, and come back with a buffing compound like you would on a vehicle. And 3 different steps of buffing. We have a compound, and then we have a swirl mark remover, which takes out the swirls from the compound, and then we have like a glaze step where it really just gives it a good polish. So we start off with 1,000 grit sandpaper, which is a pretty fine grit paper for the buffing process. Then we move to a 1,500 grit sandpaper, which is a little bit smoother, and then from there we go to 2,000 grit sandpaper, and then from there we go to 3,000 grit sandpaper. And this is covering the whole guitar, so each step, you know, it takes a little while. Once we do that, we get to that point, it kind of has like a little shininess to it, but it's still real dull. So we take these things out. They're already painted nice and glossy. We take the gloss finish off and then we put it right back on. But when we do that, it's slick like glass.
Hi, I'm Carbon.
Hi, I'm Wood.
Hey, Wood. Looks like you're sweating there a little bit. You okay?
Yeah, it's incredibly hot right now, and I'm actually a little scared that my braces might fall off.
Oh, you know, I think it's great. I'm fine. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Well, aren't you scared when it gets too hot that you might get a problem?
No, I'm okay actually. I'm ready to go. In fact, I'm going to the beach right now. I'm gonna soak in some rays.
You mean you're gonna work on your tan?
Oh, sure. I've done it 100 times. It's awesome.
Wow.
Hey, I'm Carbon.
And I am Wood.
Wood, wasn't the Sahara Desert Adventure great?
Well, that's easy for you to say, but I'm going through moisturizing lotion by the gallon.
Why are you doing that?
Well, I'm afraid that I might crack everywhere.
I've never had that problem, actually.
What do you mean? You don't have to humidify to stay in good shape?
No, don't be silly. You know, I'm here to have fun, enjoy the adventure. It's just all great.
Easy for you to say.